what we have in this province is we have a government that is clearly racist, a government that refuses to accept that there is a problem with racism in Quebec.
Members of Quebec's National Assembly unanimously adopted a motion without debate saying the province is no more racist than anywhere else, that Quebec is among the most open and welcoming places in the world. But with legislation like Bill 21 and the government's refusal to recognize the existence of systemic racism, community leaders say the motion is not based on Quebec's reality.
The fact that they felt the need to make such a resolution speaks volumes about the fact that Quebec is in many ways not an accepting and open society.
All their policies are aimed at limiting immigrants coming into the country. That's not a sign of welcoming to me.
I don't see any other province that has like a Bill 21, right? Like we're the only ones. That doesn't mean that we are open. That means that we are trying to stop people from being who they are.
The motion passed denounces any accusations that racism is more in Quebec compared to elsewhere. It also denounces any link between racism and Quebec's secularism law known as Bill 21, which bans some public servants in positions of authority from wearing religious symbols like a hijab, a turban, or a kippah. This after an Angus Reid poll on Islamophobia in Canada shows more than half of respondents in Quebec had an unfavorable view of Islam.
The government in place right now is one that deny a lot of things like systemic racism, and every single study made shows that there's systemic racism in Quebec. I think they're the only people that think it's something that doesn't exist.
Certain government leaders are putting their head in the sand and just ignoring exactly what is going on around them.
A petition created by Québec Solidaire asked the CAQ government to recognize the existence of systemic racism and discrimination in the province, pushing for the adoption of Joyce's principle, named for Joyce Echequan, a 37-year-old mother from Manawan who died in 2020 in Joliette Hospital after recording staff racially taunting her. The principle failed to be adopted in 2020 because the provincial party leaders objected to its use of the term systemic racism.
The kinds of issues that Indigenous people face have not changed, and the reluctance for them to embrace Joyce's principle is incredibly disappointing, but not surprising.
The fact that the government refuses to accept that, and the fact that the other opposition parties actually back them on that, says to me that racism is very deeply rooted in this province, and that should make anybody angry.
In Montreal, Felicia Adam, City News.